Hey, what's going on? Keith here from Sports Vibes TV, and this is another edition of our Knicks Syndicate pregame show. I'm joined, as always, by our co-host, Stephen Fox, and also from George from Into the Knicks First. How's everybody doing? George, we'll
Good.
start with you.
I'm doing excellent. This is trade week. I'm excited. A lot is going to happen. Rumors are already swirling. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good, Foxy. How's everything?
Good. Thank the Lord. How about you?
I'm all right. You know, especially coming off that devastating loss to the Lakers. We're heading into this game against the Jazz, and you hope the Knicks can go out there and be competitive. So I'm trying to be positive, keeping my fingers crossed.
That was a great loss, Keith.
Says you. My heart still hurts.
Yeah, but we hung out with the SV Nation last night, so I have a big smile on my face.
Definitely. That helped picked up my spirits and led me into today's game.
You guys have to be encouraged by our guy, number 9.
Yeah,
I'm encouraged.
Come on. It's just not something 21-year-olds do on the regular, which is now is what he's doing.
Yeah.
We all know the limitations he seems to have physically in terms of athleticism, but he is figuring it out how to overcome that. It kind of reminds, I don't want to get crazy, but I'll wait till later in the stream.
Here comes the Mai Tais, Keys.
Oh, yeah. Cheers, Knicks Nation.
RJ's got George excited already.
Did you guys see I shouted you guys out the anniversary?
On the anniversary, yep.
Thank
you.
Guys.
Shout out for that.
I appreciate everything you guys have contributed.
Congrats,
to George, on the 1-year anniversary. Give him a round of applause in the chat. We've got 50 in chat already. Thank you guys for supporting the stream.
Right,
17 likes. Make sure you guys smash that like button to get the show started off right. We appreciate you tuning in with us this evening. Now, there's been a lot of news circulating before we came on, and one of the big stories was the fact that the Knicks are actually pursuing CJ McCollum. Now, this kind of threw me off. I'm not a big fan of CJ McCollum's contract. And George, we've spoken behind the scenes as we're trying to make sense of a potential CJ McCollum trade. So I know I saw in the chat a few people wanted to get a better understanding of CJ's contract. He has 2 more years after this year, 1 year at 33 million roughly, and the next year at 35 million. So would you guys be interested in the Knicks going after a CJ McCollum and adding him to the roster?
Well, I dropped the whole video about it. So, but I have further thoughts on it even since then. But I'd love to hear actually what you guys think about it.
Sounds good. We'll start with Foxy. What do you think?
It really upset me, man. A 6'3", 30-year-old guard. If we do that, folks, I don't know if you're going to be seeing Foxy next season, man. It ain't worth my time. If this Knicks team is not serious about putting a championship caliber roster together, then I got better things to do, man. Are you serious? A 6'3". We have Quentin. The reason we maybe see IQ having some issues because he's a shooting guard. You're trying to put him at a position that's not him. RJ is a shooting guard. Don't put him at the 3. Put him at the 2. So what the hell are we getting a 6'3", 30-year-old guy with a contract like that? We do something like that, man. I'm getting to the end of the line with this franchise. I'm telling you, tired of it.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a big fan of a deal or us trying to pursue CJ McCollum. Even if it's only going to cost us, let's say, a Burks, Nerlens, and maybe Kimba. If it is going to cost us some collection of those players, you would try to understand the front office's thinking of trying to get rid of those contracts. But we're bringing back in CJ McCollum, which is also another bloated contract. And like you said, Foxy, it's now going to entrench RJ at the 3. And right now at the trade deadline, I think the moves we should be looking to make, it should try and open up a path for a Cam Reddish. And I think if you make this move, it's just going to increase the roadblock for Cam to get minutes.
And also Quentin. Quentin is a 6'4" shooting guard. What the hell do we need a 30-year-old guy for?
George, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah. Well, to me, here's the major thing that it signals. If there's any truth to this. But, Stein said legit. So he went out of his way to try and differentiate this from speculation to actual real genuine interest. He used the word legit. So that signals to me clearly that they don't feel they're going to be able to move Julius Randle by February 10th, and that they are looking to continue that playoff push that they have been on all season long, even though we are, 5 games under 500 or 4? 5. That's what it signals to me. So whether they actually make the trade or not, it just shows their thinking, their mindset.
And that's why it's depressing, George.
It is.
You think a CJ McCollum trade is going to get us over that threshold to where we can advance to the second round?
And timeline his age.
Well. Here's the new thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. Look, we all know this is RJ's team in the future, 100%. At least in the near future. We're talking about next season. We all know by
Future's now.
Yes, I totally agree. But he doesn't have the keys yet. A year from now, RJ will have the keys to this team. There's no doubt about that. I believe that the Knicks brass feel that there's still tremendous value in having the Knicks return to some sort of playoffs of any kind, and especially make a run. Imagine a backcourt of D Rose, CJ McCollum, RJ at the 3, Randle at the 4, and Mitch at the 5.
Sounds like some expensive insurance, that's for sure. Between Rose, between CJ and Mitch. What are those premiums going to be like?
It's gonna be high. It's gonna be high, but we would definitely be a better team than we have been. I mean, I don't know if it will be good enough.
What about defensively, though?
Yeah, defensively.
Hey,
will the offense flow? Do those pieces, talent-wise, you might take a step up, but do you?
He's definitely not known for his defense.
No, it's true, but I would say they are savvier defenders than Kemba and Fournier are.
Oh, Jesus.
I know it's not saying much. I know. Hey, Foxy, I know it's not saying much, but they are. I mean, Kemba is he's not even a traffic cone. He's a snow cone out there. He's just, there were times in that game against LA, he looked like, when a fan runs out on the court.
Trying to avoid security.
Yes. That's what he looked like. Whoa. It was like, whoa, what's going on? Why is he there? Why is he doing that?
Hey, George, did you see the putback by Davis?
Which one?
The monster putback by Davis.
Yeah.
Did you see did you watch the replay? Did you see what Kemba did? Kemba basically stepped to the side and if Kemba just stood where he was at the foul line, there would have been no putback by Davis. Basically, he's like, oh, that big guy, I don't want to get run over by that truck. Yeah. Let me move to the side. It's like, yo, get this guy out of here. Hey, the sentimental tour is over. We respect you. Get out of here.
Absolutely. Here's
George,
the other
for the CJ trade.
No, I'm not for it. I was specifically clear about I'm not for it if it interferes with the youth movement. So I'm not for it. I'm just trying to think in terms of what they're thinking, what the front office is thinking about. Here's the other, potential aspect of it. We acquire CJ, and at some point in the summer, let's say Utah, who we're playing tonight, has that first round exit. CJ with some picks, some interesting like IQ, some other interesting players, that becomes a much more interesting package for Donovan Mitchell than what we currently have. We currently have nothing to trade for Donovan Mitchell in terms of what they would be wanting back, because they're not going to do a rebuild. They said they have Rudy Gobert. I mean, they're going to want to retool and continue to try and compete in the West. If they give up Donovan Mitchell, that's what they're going to want, somebody back of some substance. So that could also be something that they're thinking about. I don't know. I'm floating that perspective out for you guys. What do you think about that, Keith?
I don't know. If you call me and ask for Donovan Mitchell and you're leading with CJ McCollum, I might hang the phone up on you. I don't know.
A 30-year-old guy will be 31 next year.
Injury history. He's making superstar money.
Yeah,
and he's not
without
even
superstar
level,
results.
fringe
Yeah,
all-star.
he's always been a borderline all-star.
But that's
for
a
many
lot
years.
of money to be paying that guy, and he's a guard. He plays out there on the perimeter. So as he ages, his athleticism is going to erode, and I think that's going to be an albatross if you have him for too many years and he continues to get injured or be in and out of the lineup, and his skills deteriorate. I mean, he's been playing okay now, but I don't know if I'm betting on a
He's
player
actually
like
become
CJ.
a more efficient player.
He's so efficient. They're saying, let's get rid of this guy so Simons and others can take over.
And if we could center a trade for Donovan Mitchell around CJ McCollum, then I think the Trailblazers themselves would ship CJ and bring in a better piece to pair with Lillard if that was a realistic option.
No middleman tax.
I think the money is a problem though for the Trailblazers. So and they have so many weaknesses in other areas.
Yeah.
That why they have Anthony and they have Dame. Why bring in Donovan? Donovan isn't going to be that much better than those two guys so might as well spend that money, that CJ McCollum money, somewhere else. Like maybe they'll go after Valanciunas in the offseason. I don't know. They'll do something. But
even us, we're not sending them expiring contracts. We're sending them. Nerlens has 2 more years on his deal. Burks has 2 more, and then Kemba has the 1. So even then, they'll still be cap strapped. So that's why this move is so confusing to me, because I don't see a perfect fit for either or. Like if the Trailblazers wanted to make a move, they never really had a big that can pair with Damian Lillard and make a threat. They wanted to ship CJ for Randle. Then I would kind of understand why the Trailblazers might have been interested, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. And I really wouldn't want to trade Julius Randle for a CJ in the first place, and that says a lot.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. This could just be a way to gain some leverage with the Kings. They're like, hey, your price is too high for Fox right now. So they float this this legitimate interest out there to got to get the Kings to come back to the table with a more reasonable ask.
So you think Stein is doing a favor?
It could be. Well, not necessarily a favor. It could be a slight favor, and he'll get it paid back later. Or it could just be, he's, unfortunately being used, which we've seen it happen. It happens. We've heard executives actually admit it. Sometimes there
was a scandal with Schefter. Didn't Schefter send a report to, I think, the president of the Washington football team, and he had him edit it for him and make sure everything was good before he sent it out to be submitted?
Yeah, there was that scandal.
Yeah, I thought only Biden did that. Oh,
but teams do this all the time. Teams do this all the time. They try to gain leverage with another team by floating interest out in a player, and agents do it too. They always use the Knicks name constantly.
Yes, constantly.
So they could be
just such a weird fit. I don't know.
It is a weird fit, but you know what? It's out there. Mark Stein is legit, and he said use the word legit. I had to put it under the microscope and analyze it in terms of how, if this is legit, does this make sense in any way? How could it actually work? And let me tell you, I'll be frank with you guys. If CJ McCollum came to this team in exchange for Fournier, Kemba, and whatever, this team would become a better team.
In short
term. That's just, that's
like living in a rat race, though. We'll just be a mid-level team.
Look, I'm with you. I'm just saying they would become a better team. Now, the difference between our current Knicks team, because I understand the fan base is paranoid and we have PTSD, from Bargnani trades and stuff like that in the past. But the difference is we have a really solid young core that
at the same position.
Yeah. But we have pieces. So it's not like we're going to be gutting ourselves to bring someone else in to make a run at the 8th seed or something. It's not like that. It's almost like we still got our young core. We're bringing in a piece, bring back the winning culture, and then we'll readdress everything in the off season. So I'm just trying to give them a little bit of credit in terms of why this might actually not be so terrible. But at the same time, it's definitely not where I would be looking to improve the team.
Yeah, I'm not if the front office has that mindset where they think CJ McCollum and all they're doing is trying to get into the playoffs, knowing that there's no realistic opportunity for us to advance, And to me, it's like that's a waste, especially if you're going to do it and it's a detriment to the development of the young players. So if the front office is thinking it along those lines, then, you know, Knicks fans, we're in trouble for real, because I don't see us advancing. And if we're not going to put players like a Deuce, like a Quick, Obi, Cam in the best position to develop and be key contributors to this ball club, then that's a wasted season in my eyes.
And if we go from 10 to like 19 in the draft, we need athleticism. We need some, you know, yeah, we're not doing it. That would be a major blunder again.
And you can't put it past this front office when you look at the free agency and some of the other things they've done.
No, man.
So I did put a poll in the chat if the Knicks, or whether or not the Knicks should try and pursue CJ McCollum via trade. Right now, no is winning, is in the lead, but it's a slight lead. It's only up by it's what, 57%. So I'll let that sit in the chat for a little bit longer.
CJ's a player.
We're not saying that.
Yeah,
we agree with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not unreasonable to have some kind of interest in the CJ McCollum. Whether he actually fits, how he gets used, is Thibs the right guy? Like, that's so many other question marks, you know. But on face value, CJ is a quality player. He's a career 20 points, 5 assists, or whatever it is. You know, he can shoot the three. Though I don't know if you guys saw the video. His corner three is trash this year, and that's what we actually would need him for.
But when you talk to the SV Nation and stuff,
not trash. It's not trash. It's 33%.
You gotta be careful with that.
It's true. It's 33%. It's not trash. Percentile wise, it's trash. He's like 18 percentile. That's close. That's close to the bin.
Hey, so I'm gonna close the chat. I mean, not the chat. Close the poll and see exactly what SV Nation has to say about the Knicks and their pursuit of CJ McCollum. Man, I'm getting anxious at the trade deadline now. Now that we're hearing reports like this.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd rather do nothing than do something like that, man.
Yeah, I was happy when we started with Cam, but now CJ McCollum, I just don't see the fit.
Yeah. And like I said, if we talk to the SV Nation, they're going to say, our needs are, 1 sec, 1, 3, and 5. Nobody's talking about us needing anybody at the 2.
Yeah. Yeah. The upside in terms of Cam would play, because it would be like a 3-for-1 at minimum. So rotation spots would open up, and then Cam, and then it would solidify Grimes.
You say that. I mean, yeah, Grimes would definitely get a bump in minutes because he's a Thibs favorite. But I wouldn't put it past Thibs when it comes to Cam.
To him to just go down to an 8 or 9 guy rotation.
That leads us right.
Wait, who do we have? So if we traded Fournier, Kemba, and who is the third guy?
Fournier, Kemba, and Burks.
Burks.
I thought it was Burks.
No,
right?
it was Burks, Kemba, and Noel.
Burks, Kemba, and Noel. That's one. And then okay.
So we have Luka Szymanek left, and
Cam would probably be the 10th guy. So it wouldn't necessarily, but if he came in, he definitely would get some minutes, and if he delivered on the defensive end, those minutes could increase. So it is a way to open up a rotation spot for Cam.
I mean, weird way to do it.
Keith hates this idea.
I'm his brother. What about I'm on Keith's side on this one, 100%.
But you're having the neutral face. Keith is like,
I'm just like, thinking about it. I'm just like, I don't see, especially with this news that dropped. I've been saying it for a while, but it's finally been confirmed by mainstream media that it doesn't seem like Tom Thibodeau. You were
the one who said this from not the very beginning, because it was hard to know, but like as soon as
I said it from the beginning, George. Stop it. As soon as I heard the interview.
The interview. Yeah.
And he's been talking about the trade for a year also, besides that.
That's true. But I knew it once I heard Thibs talk about some of the like target words, like keywords in his speech, because everything Thibs says is for a reason. So once he started talking about the scouts liking him, we don't care what the scouts like. We care what you like, Thibs. Are you going to play him? Do you like him as a player? And when I started hearing some of that, he had a conversation with him as soon as he got traded. And after that conversation, you see DMPs up the wazoo. So it was a lot of signs saying that Tom Thibodeau may not be a big fan of Cam. And it's being reported by Mark Berman. And I know a lot of people aren't necessarily the biggest fan of Mark Berman, but it also was reported by Jake Fisher from Bleacher Report that there are reports that, or intel, as Fisher said, that Tom Thibodeau was not gung-ho about the trade for Cam Reddish. Now, George, we'll start with you. How do you think this is going to affect Cam's time here in New York? And if Tom Thibodeau isn't on board with this deal, do you think that points to dysfunction between the front office and the coaching staff?
I don't know if it's actual dysfunction as if in it's not working properly. I just think there's just disagreement. And actually, I'm happy the front office didn't listen to Thibs. I mean, the front office's job is to build a championship team. We're not going to win this year. You know what I mean? We're not. Cam, he was out there. He was available. He's a number 10 pick. He has a tremendous high ceiling. He wants to be a star. He had a relationship already with RJ. I mean, physically, he's perfect. You know, perfect size, perfect length. He can shoot the three. Pause. You know, he can, you know, so, you know, he like, in fact, I think 29 other teams fucked up in not trying to get Cam, in my opinion. He's a great asset to add to a squad. Now, the fact that Thibs, because he's concerned, and remember, Thibs is going through a lot right now. This team, he's struggling. COVID has hit this team hard. His main guy is out, Derek. He was forced to start a guy, Kemba, who's not at all the type of point guard he normally plays. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that haven't been going necessarily Thibs' way. However, Thibs may need to get forced into doing something he doesn't want to do. I don't mind that clashing. I think sometimes you end up in a better place when you guys clash. Being on the same page all the time, it could mean nothing. You could be on the same page and drift off to oblivion. You know what I mean? But if you're clashing and you're constantly, because you're wanting to win and build a championship team, but also win now and create a winning culture, I think that's a good tension. So I'm gonna spin it back as, I don't think it's necessarily a damaging, if that was your original question, I don't think it's a damaging tension. However, all that being said, Cam's got to play, Tom. Play the Cam.
Foxy, you want to follow that up, or you want me to give a rebuttal and then you go?
You do the rebuttal, because I'm gonna, you do the rebuttal.
So I hear what you're saying, George, about not always being on, the same page, but we're hearing multiple reports of the front office thinking, in one direction, or trying to head in one direction, and then Tom Thibodeau trying to head in another direction. And then if you see where it has, led us here today, it's not a positive sign. So that's why when I'm looking at it, I want my coach and my front office to have at least the same vision. And right now, it doesn't seem like they have the same vision. They might have differences of how to achieve or get to that end goal. But right now, it seems like Thibs wants to move forward with the vets and continue to be sub 500, or like you say, a middling team. And it looks like the front office wants to go and bring in young players and try to get them developed here in New York and build that way. And those are two things you can't do in lockstep. So that's why I think it screams dysfunction right now between the front office and the coaching staff. Fox, you want to go now?
I think it's total dysfunction, man. I don't think Perry or somebody's going to sit down and say, you're going to play the players that we're getting. If you don't, thank you for your time. We'll accept your resignation. Get the hell out of here. Johnny, come on up and you'll finish up the season and we'll see how you do. But yeah, I'm tired of this shit. Obi gets picked at 8, front office says we believe in him. We like his thing. He won't play him. And we see the stats plus minus, and then we see all the crap with Randle that we'll get into, and the Cam thing. So one thing after the other, man, it doesn't look like they're tight. And And as fans, we're like, what the hell are you doing? We're seeing the rest of the East getting stronger, younger, more athletic. And we're saying, wow. So we see this and now you want to get a 30-year-old unathletic shooting guard to add to our unathletic team. All right, man. That's really good roster construction. So,
but I don't see how that is in conflict with Thibs, though.
Thibs is not playing the guys that the front office is getting.
Thibs is the coach. They traded Knox, who was basically doing nothing.
And for a guy that was playing 23 minutes and now giving him any burn, and now you're hurting his confidence.
But Thibs only plays 10 guys max.
Well, hopefully next year he won't be playing any players.
Thibs is saying, if you want me to play Cam, trade somebody. I think that's fine. I don't think it's dysfunction. I think it's a process. It's just the way it goes. There was an opportunity to get Cam. They struck early because another team might have come in and offered something better, and they hedged their bets. They're like, okay, we'll deal with opening up a rotation spot at some point. Now, if February 10th, 3 p.m. comes around, or 4 p.m., whenever the deadline is, and no moves are made, then there might be some real dysfunction going on. I'm just saying, I think it's early to call it dysfunction now in terms of this situation with him.
I don't know, George. I don't know if it's early. I mean, this one move might not scream dysfunction. I might be exaggerating on that part, but when you put this move, take it out, not look at it in a vacuum, but look at it with all the other moves. Foxy said you draft Obi, but now he's stuck behind a Julius Randle who's playing. Somebody mentioned it in chat. He's playing entire first and third quarters. You really can't find any minutes to get Obi out there on the court. You bring in an Evan Fournier. He doesn't really seem like a Thibs guy. You bring in Kimba. He definitely doesn't seem like a Thibs guy. And even
those rest your case, counselor. You just won.
No, what I'm saying is those are more indicative.
Yeah, but you have to add this on top.
Yeah.
So if you look at it in totality, it doesn't seem like this front office and the coaching staff are hand in hand in what they're trying to do with this franchise, and that's extremely frustrating as a Knicks fan.
Yeah. Hey, maybe a stretch 5 or something that'll complement our team and give us something new. So, yeah, man, this is crazy. Hey, can we just take a second? We have 336 people in the chat, and we have 63 likes. So do me a favor, 67.
Smash that like button for us.
Smash that like button. Yeah,
we actually get into the debate. Normally, it's fun times, but now.
Well, I'm just pushing back to make it more interesting because I could easily agree with you guys.
So now you're calling us not interesting. All right.
To keep it interesting.
These Knicks moves aren't interesting. Trying to talk to CJ McCollum for what reason is beyond me.
I know.
Yo, just a shout out to so please hit that subscribe. If you haven't hit that subscribe, please hit that all reminder bell so that you don't miss out on any of the wonderful content. Please hit that subscribe and wonderful reminder for also into the Knicks First with our guy George. Please share the link on your favorite social media platforms. As always, shout out to the best mods on the planet. Just real quick, shout out to my friends Ghetto Intellect, Justin L, Kentucky's Finest, my friend Janine, the one and only Geraldine MacGyver, my sister on we get rid of Thibs as fast as we can, Eddie Suarez, Eddie Alvarez. So thanks everyone so much for all your support, man.
Hey, guess what?
You're on your second Mai Tai.
Grimes is out.
You knew that.
Is out. So Cam will play tonight. So after all this,
fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, according to Thibs himself, according to the way he, has been aligning the minutes, Cam should slot in and take that rotation spot. If he doesn't, then I will be lighting Thibs' ass on fire tonight in that recap. Cam has to play tonight because that means that what he's been saying is bullshit.
I mean, you and JD have pointed out a few times where Thibs has kind of spoken in ways that have kind of gone against what he said originally.
Yeah.
So
sometimes you have to pivot, but he's not pivoting in game. But in terms of trying to motivate his players, I can see that. But yeah, he's been definitely contradicting himself.
Hey, shout out to Boogie Down. He says he's new to the chat. So any of you, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. And if you are new, please put hashtag new so we can give you a proper welcome to the SV Nation.
Definitely.
Actually, Lex just puts a great one in the chat. It's always got to be some drama for Thibs to play anybody. It does feel like that. It definitely does feel like that.
And let's see how he feels with a few more losses in a row, man.
Hey, man, we're heading in the wrong direction.
Definitely. So George, you think Cam is going to get some minutes? I'm hopeful that Cam gets minutes. George, you think Cam is actually going to get minutes tonight?
I do. Well,
I'm sorry, Foxy. I'm bugging.
Say that again. I'm sorry. I just saw another hi, Randy Hamilton. He's new, and we have a super chat. What were you going to say? So
George thinks that Cam is gonna play tonight. I'm hopeful that Cam plays tonight. Foxy, what do you think? You think Cam is actually gonna get some meaningful minutes tonight? I don't know with this crazy dude. I don't know, because logic would say, yeah, absolutely, but logic's out the window, man. How many times we're looking? Hey, the other night we're looking the visual of seeing the size of LeBron and RJ against them, and you're saying, hey, we love this kid RJ, but why? Leave RJ at the 2 and bring in Cam. He's much bigger than RJ to guard LeBron and stuff. So from a logic standpoint, I have no feel for Thibs. I have no feel for this front office. And you know what? That's, the way I look at basketball. If I have no feel after somebody's in the job for 3 years, something's wrong, man. Facts. You got 2 super chats, my friend. Let's give a shout out to Fugazi. He says, I'm done.
I would have been curious how if Cam would have actually done better than RJ on LeBron, but at least it wouldn't have exhausted RJ, because he did have we got to try though. We just gave up a first round and a former first round pick. One of the days that we're gonna let the guy go at it. I hear you. Wanted to shout out the super chat real quick. It says, it's coming from Fugazi. It says, I'm done with Thibs and his coaching style. Play these young boys. Yeah, play the kids.
And we also got one from Johnny Davis. Says, good talk, y'all. Cool panel. Appreciate it. We stream pregame. This stream is on my stream, Sports Vibes TV. So make sure you're subscribed. The next one will be on George's channel at Into the Next Verse. Make sure you're subscribed there as well. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Johnny Davis, one of the best shooting guards out of Wisconsin. He lit up Jaden Ivey a few weeks ago. So Johnny, I'm a big fan of yours.
Johnny might be a top 5 pick.
I don't know about that, but he's going to definitely be top 10 pick.
If he keeps going the way he's been, yeah, he'll definitely be top 10. He'll definitely be top 10. And guess who's got the 10th pick right now?
The Knicks.
The Knicks. This team.
I didn't think we would be talking about being a lottery pick at this point.
Look, we are in a win-win situation.
Oh, that's what Thibs is good for.
We're so worried and panicked. We're so worried and panicked. We are actually in a great situation. And this is something that I actually left out in that video that I put out the other night. Yesterday, actually. There was a large population of Knicks fans that really never wanted Randle to play the way he played last season, because we just wanted him out. And then he came in and gave one of the most incredible, the very best statistical season a New York Knicks has ever given. Only one other player has ever even reached that level of efficiency that Randle had last season, which was Larry Bird in his MVP year. That's the level that Randle played last season. However, we watched him every day. We knew, and we watched him a season before, and we'd watched him in New Orleans, so we knew. And I watched him when he was here in LA, so we knew what he really was. And we were worried, is that an outlier season? So it kind of, and then it accelerated the timeline, because then we had these young guys coming. And then we have a coach who only plays vets, mostly plays vets. He did start RJ the whole season, so we got to say that. And he did develop IQ into a backup PG. So at least,
and he also played IQ only 5 minutes, right?
The other night, yes,
4 minutes and 51 seconds. But
we invested a third in RJ. He better play RJ,
right. But here's the thing:
pandemonium if we benched him.
Here's the thing: last season could have been an interruption in the youth movement, in the rebuild. And now
hiring Thibs was an interruption in the youth movement, which is why I don't understand the hire.
Yeah, But I see the
take.
logic of Leon saying, "Hey, we need to establish a winning culture again here in New York." Okay, fine. But now, if Randle has now shot himself and the whole franchise in the face and slapped everyone's laptop, and now he's got to go. So here's the great thing: is we trade him, we get back on the youth movement. We have a team, young players that actually had the experience of a winning culture last season. So they had that, and we have the lottery pick coming. We have a team that actually knows how to draft players. I think we're in a good place, and we have a multitude of draft picks. We have contracts we can move. The sky has not fallen upon us. We are actually in a good situation. However, doing something like a CJ McCollum thing, that could set us back.
And another super chat, my friend.
Tell Julius Randle we're in a good place. It doesn't seem like he feels the same way.
Well, he's got to go. He's got to go. Look at that.
Nah, he was actually saying you should be using a Windows, not a Mac or a laptop.
Yeah. Saying, what you doing with yeah.
Want to give a quick shout out to Sean and One with the super chat. He says, if I can get this out the way. Oh, whoopsie. There we go. It says, when you are heading nowhere fast, and if you are trading Grimes in this deal, I am done. Hashtag checked out.
We're not trading Grimes. Don't worry, Sean.
Yeah, fingers crossed. If we didn't trade Grimes for Cam, I don't think
it would be a revolt for CJ in YouTube Knicks content creation. And
not even
Twitter.
Content creation, just all around the world.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate
Knicks
it.
fans will band together and try to put a stop to it.
No way.
Veto the trade. Let's see. Tyler Talbot, thank you for the super chat. He says, what should we do at the deadline? Point guard, a big need. Randle is not the same player. A lot of vets. Well, what we need to do is we need to ship some of these vets out. That would be Nerlens Noel, Kimba, and either Burks or Fournier. Right now, I'm starting to lean to keeping Fournier because he's been shooting it great so far, even though he has some defensive liabilities. But if we can ship out the other three that I named and try to bring in some young players that have potential, they may not have been able to find their way in other places, but let's see if we can bring them in, play with some of these young guys who have energy, who show that they have chemistry out there on the court, and try to rehab them in that way. That's what I would try to do at the deadline. What about you two? Foxy, we'll start with you.
We talked about it yesterday that we shouldn't do any desperate moves. Like you said, let's remove the logjam. Let's get rid of some of our vets and let the kids play out and go from there. Let them get some good burns so we could not only give them invaluable game time experience so they can develop, but it gives us better time for assessment of their ceilings, their floor and their ceilings. So that's what you want to do. But I just don't know what the hell they're doing, man. So on point guard, hey, we got to give Deuce some time, man. We got to give that kid some time. We see Grimes, and the same thing there's a similarity between Deuce and Grimes. Defense. So versus other rookies, we're like, oh my God, they're going to be a nightmare on defense. No, not at all on here. So let's do that. And, I don't know. Hey, if Randle keeps this stuff up, I said this to Keith, that there's a really good shot that we can't trade him. And if we don't, and he does some other, exhibit some of this behavior, suspend him for a week or so for conduct detrimental to the team and let the kids rock. Because I said last night on the show, when RJ hit that big shot, all the guys ran over to RJ, but Randle, had a stupid technical while sitting on the bench. He does this with the notebook. One thing after the other, his body language, and also the first thing I said to Keith when I saw the clip of him with the notebook, I said, Keith, I guarantee you that guy was showing him a missed defensive assignment. I guarantee it's a missed defense. And on your video, you picked it up. Like if you watched it, folks, it was Malik Monk. There was several times where it was like, "What the hell are you doing, Julius?" This guy, on switches and stuff like that. So, but you know what? Look here. Look at when you play it. Look at the reaction of the guys. I think it's Burke sitting down.
Look at Quick.
Yeah, quick looks, but everybody else is just saying he's a dick, man. This guy's a dick.
It's so damaging for all the other players.
But they're used to it. You could see by their body reactions, like Julius is just being a dick again, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got another new
I think
Stevie Doe, man. What's happening?
He slapped it and said, "Don't show me that shit." And then
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah,
Like, I'm just
Scott
doing my
King-
job, man.
yeah, Scott King said something like, maybe whatever. And then he said, "What'd you say to me? What'd you fucking say to me?"
I know what I would have said to him. Don't step
Watch,
on me.
wait,
Step up on me. I don't give a shit. You're 6'9".
He's like, "Don't show me that shit." Wait, what? What'd you say to me? What'd you say to me?
Said you're making another mistake for the 400th time.
And Johnny B's like, hey,
Yeah, you see Kenny Payne over there. Man, Kenny Payne's a big boy.
oh yeah.
Here we go.
Kenny Payne's the beast.
All right. So
Well,
I think
me-
Foxy already gave his thoughts on that moment.
Yeah.
What about you, George? You can give your thoughts on the trade, on what we should do at the deadline, and also
Well,
on Julius Randle's bad
I
behavior.
yeah, I put out a list. I have a wish list that's not should be any wish. It should happen. Number 1, move Kemba, add a point guard. Now, I left it vague what that kind of point guard. I left that vague, but we have to move Kemba regardless. Number 2, trade Burks. Number 3, add a young stretch 5 like a Mo Bamba, a Jalen Smith, somebody who's young, who's on the same timeline as our other guys, who can blend well, who can fill it. You know, when we need that stretch 5, we go with them, and they still give us some rim protection. Mo Bamba, Jalen Smith, those kind of guys. Number 4, hand RJ the keys. This talk that RJ's not ready, I don't care. Were you ready to drive when you were 16? No, you learn. That's how you learn, by doing. I'm sick of forcing our young people to wait for what? For more lunacy like this with Randle? Get out of here with that. Let the youth lead. Number 5. And I'll be happy.
I thought George was going to say, 1, let's do this. B, let's do this. Yo, got our guy Randle, man. He's a good dude, man. He has a super chat for us.
Salute to our guy Brando. He says we should pull the trigger on the Fox trade. We need a point guard that can push the pace. Randle is always handling the ball, which is why we're in last place. I don't disagree with you.
400
what?
in the chat.
Yo.
Oh,
Yo, the Roadcaster, he knows that button.
Yeah, that button I know by heart. That's the only button on there I know.
And our brother, the capo of the syndicate, Mr. JD Sports Talk, is in the chat. JD.
Let's see. I see him laughing. Was he laughing at us?
Yeah, he's just laughing. He's
He
laughing.
said we're having too much fun.
Yo.
The thing.
Let's see.
What time is it? 5:50.
It's
It's 8:50 there.
Yeah, here you go with your Western time. I mean, yeah, Pacific time.
He says it as if it's such an annoyance that the rest of the world is not on the same.
Hey,
we're
man.
New Yorkers. There's New York time, and then there's New York time.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm over here calling Georgia's time Western time. I don't even know what the other time zones are. I got to dig deep into the mental to figure it out. Man.
Oh man.
Yo, where's our guy?
Keys. All right. Oh, JD he said laughing at George's typical rant. There we go.
I've got to stop booted out of my own live stream.
Yeah, he
I
booted
was like,
yourself. I needed a break.
Yeah, I needed a little breather.
hey, we have a new super chat from a new member of the SV Nation, Boogie Down.
Oh, salute Boogie Down. He's saying we need to see the youth movement come ASAP, and we're not going to see it under Thibs. Either it's this season or next. How would you feel about Kenny Atkinson as a potential candidate to lead the youth? Ding, 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 ding. I wish I knew which one of these was that sound, because we have a winner. Kenny Atkinson, my personal choice. I think all three of us actually would vote for Kenny Atkinson if we had to pick a new coach for this team in order to lead us in the right direction. And even if he's going to be a stopgap coach, I'm perfectly fine with what I saw with what he did over there in Brooklyn. Actually, I would argue maybe the Nets should have kept Kenny Atkinson instead of jettisoning him and bringing in a Steve Nash, a first-time coach, to try and handle, the egos they have on that Nets squad. So Kenny Atkinson would definitely be my selection.
Me too.
100% for me.
And the graduate work with Golden State Warriors. Oh my God, man. It's just an impressive resume.
yeah, exactly. All the knowledge he's accumulating right now. Bring that over. Bring that to the Knicks, Kenny.
Yeah, but he developed guys like Harris and others, was a head coach. So it's a big difference. Everyone's Johnny Bryant. We like Johnny Bryant, but it's a big difference going from an assistant coach to a head coach, man. You want somebody with that experience.
In the biggest market in the league at that.
In the biggest market in the league and the most ferocious media market.
Yeah, I'm open to Johnny Bryant. I'm open to him, but Kenny Atkinson at the moment would be my number one pick to replace Thibs.
What scares me about Johnny Bryant, though, is how much time do you think the front office would give him to make a legitimate change with this team? Him being a rookie head coach, him not necessarily having the experience or the resume. Yes, he's been at organizations and he's worked with Donovan Mitchell, but you look at a coach like a Johnny Bryant, would he have been able to survive this season so far if things were going the way they have this season?
We had a Woody, I think you'd have a better chance, or you'd have somebody that was a head coach.
Pause.
That's it.
Yeah, I didn't know where he was going with that one.
Oh, I guess the Woody part.
yeah, Woody, yeah. And then after a while, I said, "Oh, Mike Woodson."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yo. So yeah, maybe if you have a stabilizing.
Blushing.
Yes, a stabilizing force like
George
that.
got you back for your pause moment.
Yeah,
you hit him in one, and then George returned serve.
Yeah. So Hey, we got two more super chats.
Oh, we got a super chat from our guy JD. He said, "You Foxy voice, Foxy, you gonna come out with your t-shirts?"
Yeah.
400.
Oh, yeah.
He says the growth in your channel is unreal. Appreciate that. Thank you. Better yet, it's because of the talent and quality you three bring to the fans. Thank you, JD. Really appreciate that. And I think I can speak for all three of us when we can say we echo that sentiment with you and your great work over there at Knicks Fan TV.
Absolutely. So proud of you.
Keep on doing the good work you do over there.
Brilliant work.
Absolutely.
Brilliant takes, man. Take after take, Mr. World Class. Yeah. And also stuff like template coaching and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, one thing after the other, man. He's magnificent.
Yeah, and we didn't get the 50 burgers, but it definitely took Knicks community by storm.
But that ain't JD's fault.
Yeah.
Thibs, man. If I wish that he had really come through in his continuing his evolution. He was doing really well last season, and this season he's regressed, in my opinion, in terms of his coaching style and philosophy, which is a bummer for us as fans.
Well, he's consistent what he did in Atlanta. So this season equals what he did in Atlanta. No mid-game adjustments, getting out coached on a regular basis. So we
didn't have much. I mean, the thing is, though, with Atlanta, we didn't have many options with the team. Like this year, we have players. We have a nice roster. I think we're underperforming, and that's on Thibs.
The super chat.
In my opinion, that's on Thibs that we're underperforming.
I just want to give a shout out to Tyler Talbot with another super chat. He says, "Would you like the idea of trading for Mitchell in the future, maybe in the offseason?" We discussed this in a previous pregame. I'm for Donovan Mitchell. I think even though he's not a point guard, he's a player that can come in. He can get his own bucket. And now I'm starting to, as we're seeing RJ's, development and him blossoming into what I think could be a potential number one in the league. I don't know if the Donovan Mitchell, him coming here, would be an issue with RJ, because I think the offense flows great through RJ. But if we can make it work with a guy like Donovan Mitchell, then I'm all for bringing him in and then trying to figure it out as we go, because he fits the trajectory of this roster. He's still a young player, and he's a player that can light it up. And you can never have too many players like that on this team. So I'd be open with a Donovan Mitchell trade. What about you two? We'll start with Foxy.
My process is I'd like to go like Toronto did a few years ago, a blueprint like that where you have dogs. So whether it's a Lowry, a Norman Powell, a Van Vliet, so a Grimes, an RJ, a Deuce and stuff like that, but also bring in one player. So I'd like us to clear. And then the Joker, Jokic, is a free agent in 23. Let's clear the things. New York has a very large Serbian population. So, in Queens and stuff like that. So there's an element where people that are not from this country, they'd like to have a feeling of home, so going to a Serbian restaurant, hanging out in a Serbian neighborhood and stuff like that. So maybe we can go for that. And, Toronto, usually you need 2 elite players to do something. George is shaking his head during my take. Don't you love that?
You had to tease us with the Joker.
But just meaning I'd rather go
talking about Mitchell. But yeah, the Joker would be. Ooh.
Yeah.
I honestly, if Mitchell becomes available, you have to try and make it work. Mm-hmm. And I believe that RJ has the basketball IQ. Look at RJ's somehow been able to make it, quote, work with Randle. I mean, Randle's not easy to deal with.
We just saw that. Do I have to put it back on screen?
Yeah, put it back. So RJ, yeah, keep showing it the whole stream. I think RJ has the basketball IQ to make it work. Will it, hurt his game? I think in the long run it wouldn't. I think he would make it work out. And I think
do that baseline again.
I think Donovan would also want to make it work as well. Great players want to play with other great players.
I'm sorry, did you hear that?
I thought I heard music for a second.
Yeah, I heard a boom.
Yeah, there's a very low soundtrack to the clip.
I would have been pissed the guy smacked my laptop like that.
Right?
Yeah,
or I'd be pissed somebody got in my face like that. I don't give a shit how big you are.
Give me 2K. Give me some of that All-Star money you didn't get.
You guys are terrible. We got another super chat. This one from Chris Dada. He's saying Kenny Atkinson will need to sign up with CAA to receive any consideration. Fact. Yeah, that's how the business works. It's all about
it is a business, but it is an entertainment business.
Well, I mean, depend if you're on the outside looking in, the Knicks are probably pretty entertaining right now. But if you're in the mix and you're living it, this is stressful times for a Knicks fan.
Yeah, it's very stressful. Hey, last year we were the greatest story in sports in the entire world of sports. We were the number one story.
It's crazy, now, George. We came up during that time, and now look what we were enduring.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But we feared it. I mean, just so you guys know, Keith, JD, Foxy, and I, we talk like all day, basically all day long, often. And we share a lot of things with each other. And we had these fears that we would regress like this, that Randle would regress like this. We've had fears about RJ. Is RJ ever going to be the guy? Is he ever going to be consistent enough? So we have the same exact fears that everyone else has. So we can't lose focus on the most important thing, which is that RJ, our highest draft pick since Patrick Ewing, actually is a player. He's real. How great he'll be, how good he'll be, that's still yet to be determined. But at least it was a solid pick. And that I'm happy with, because we have fucked up our drafts in the past many times. Look at Frank. Look at Knox. Go down the line.
Halliburton.
Jordan Hill. Halliburton. Yeah. All these things. So that's what I'm saying. We're not in that bad a situation.
Another super chat.
Do we? Where?
Oh, Tyler Talbot.
Oh, Tyler Talbot again.
Thank you so much.
Salute to Tyler. Well, I'll get to Tyler. I want to give a shout out though to Chris L as well. He's a new subscriber. He says, new subscriber here, guys. Love your work. Keep it up. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for being a new subscriber. Make sure you're tuned in. We do the pregame show here on my channel. Make sure you're subscribed to George's channel as well, because we will be there tomorrow. Also, I have the Sunday stream with Stephen Fox. We do that Sundays at 8 p.m.
Must watch.
But you could call me Foxy.
Foxy. All right. So I want to give a shout out to Tyler Talbot. He says, should we tank or not? I'll lead. I don't think we should tank. I think we should still try to be competitive, but we should be led by our young players. I'm okay with us getting to the playoffs and not advancing much further in the playoffs. It just has to be led by our young players, because then at least our young players are leading, they're learning, they're getting that taste of that playoff environment, even though they had some, last season. But we've got players like Grimes, who's new. Cam has taste in the playoffs, but you got players like Grimes. Hopefully Sims can get involved. Deuce can get some minutes in that situation, so that way we can cultivate our young players. But to try and get there led by the vets, I don't think that's ideal. But I also don't want to tank because I think winning games is important for the young players. So for me, the ideal situation would be for us to win through our young players and trying to get as much as we can here at the deadline for our vets. What about you, Foxy? What do you think?
What was the question again?
Should we tank or not?
Well, I was just laughing at myself. It's like, we're tanking, man. We're not trying to tank. We're just, it's just the quality of this roster. So over the next 4 games, we're going to play our heart out. So it's the equivalent of just, we're not tanking, but the results are a tank because of the level of this roster.
I mean, I wouldn't say we're tanking. You look at the Magic; they're 22 and a half games back from first. We're only 9.5, so we're still within contention. It's just when you're in that middle of the road team, there's really no positives unless you're led there by your young players and you're seeing development from them.
Yeah. I look. This is win-win number 3 and 4. If you go and try and win with the youth, and they make it into the play-in, that's fantastic. It's showing you the kind of quality that those guys have, and the experience that they'll get, and the winning culture, the environment, all of that will benefit them next season. If they don't take you to the play-in, guess what? You got a lottery pick. So it's a win-win either way. But we know that the vets aren't going to take us anywhere
at all
meaningful.
They'll take us to a good draft pick.
Yeah, but
even that I don't think they'll be able to do. We'll still be middle of the road.
We'll be like, we'll be middling.
Also, do us a solid. We're at 180 likes.
Here's the other thing, Foxy. If that were the case, right? Let's say we do that, then the player that we draft would be to try and fit in with that vet-led type team next season. We don't want that.
Yeah.
We want someone who works well with the youth that led us to
we only got a couple of minutes left before the game starts. 321 in the chat. Thank you so much. 182 likes. So please hit that like button. We'd love to get up to 200. Please hit that subscribe. Thanks. If you have hit that subscribe, please tell your friends so they'll subscribe. We promise we work hard to give you the latest Knicks news, rumors, and analysis. And got it right, Keith.
You hit the nail on the head.
2 shows in a row. Whoa! So, do the same for our guy George into the Knicks first. Subscribe and hit that reminder bell. Share the link. And again, shout out to the best mods on the planet. We appreciate all you do.
Absolutely.
Ashley Incorporated One says our young players are actually playing better than our vets. So if playing them is tanking, then so be it.
Yep.
If that's
Ashley,
wrong,
thank you.
I don't want to be right.
Loving you is wrong. I don't want to be right.
All right, fellas, let's talk about the game. We kind of blew past. I think the game might have already been started. This is actually a watch along at this point.
Let's just do the recap.
Right? George, cue the red.
Yeah. Cam didn't play.
I'd be pissed if Cam didn't play.
Oh man,
my friend Janine says don't be surprised and she's been right a whole lot, so don't be surprised if Cam doesn't play.
Yeah, so
if he doesn't play, then for sure there's 100% dysfunction between Thibs and the front office.
Facts. So, fellas, before we sign off, just give me your thoughts on the upcoming game. The Jazz, they have Donovan Mitchell, who returned from a concussion. They're missing Rudy Gobert, which is a big piece for that team. What are you expecting to see from the Knicks tonight? And do you think we actually have a chance to come out with the victory? George, we'll start with you.
I always think we have a chance because I'm in that group where I do believe that we have quality on this roster and we are underachieving. The cool thing is that on any given night, you can see like that first quarter, 42 points, 71 points in the first half. Unfortunately, they come out
on any given night, you can have the second half.
Exactly. 13 in the third quarter. So, I mean, we have ability. Yes. Can we win? Of course we can win. But Donovan Mitchell's back. They're 2-0 since he's been back. It's going to be tough. We're in Utah. I mean, it would be a tremendous steal if we won this game. I would say it's not looking likely, but I wouldn't be surprised if we won it.
What about you, Foxy?
I don't think we're going to win. Obviously, I'm a Knicks fan. I hope we win, but just being realistic about it, I don't think we're going to win. This is the last 5 games, but for the season, they're 3rd in field goal percentage, 4th in 3-point percentage, 1st in 2-point percentage on the offensive side, 2nd in getting to the line. So it's asking a lot.
It just shows what one player, how it impacts a team like that.
Yeah, because I think
he didn't play. Donovan didn't play.
Mitch was missing for a lot of these games. Yeah, half of them.
Yeah. And I'll go with the statistic again. If we shoot over 38% and they shoot under 38%, maybe we have a shot.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I think we have a shot, but especially with Gobert being out, that would allow us to get into the paint if the team is able to attack and actually finish around the rim. RJ,
is he out?
He was listed as out. Let me see.
Does anybody know if Clarkson's out?
Clarkson was questionable.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. So
I mean, honestly, if we want to know if they're out, we could just turn on the TV. At this point, they should be on the court. When I looked before we signed on, it said I think he was out. Him and then Clarkson was questionable. So if Gobert is out, that's going to be a big loss. And I look for both Mitch and RJ to eat. They've been phenomenal in the month of January.
Oh yeah, Gobert is out.
Yep. Yeah.
That means go to the hole, RJ. Go to the hole. Be aggressive. Same thing with Randle.
For the shooters.
I think our chances of winning increased by like 30% just now.
Yeah, and especially for Mitch on the offensive rebounds, second chance points. We got destroyed in points in the paint the other night. Oh my God.
Hey, we got 201 likes.
Yo.
Hey, we hit the threshold. Appreciate
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, SV Nation, for holding us down. All right, fellas. I think we had a phenomenal show. I think you can see that SV Nation thought we had a phenomenal show. We had 400 in chat. We got 200 likes. So thank you, Foxy. Thank you, George, for co-hosting with me. And also SV Nation, thank you guys for tuning in and providing us with some, comments in the section that allowed us to discuss and open up a dialogue.
Yeah, great chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, we didn't shout you guys out enough, but
I love it. Justin, Janine, Boogie Down. We surveyed 100 people. Joe Curry, we love you guys. Thank you so much.
And also, my bad, we surveyed 100 people. He actually sent us the starting lineup, but it was a little bit too early for that portion of the show. And I think I had put
Clarkson,
it on for a second.
Clarkson is playing.
So he is in?
Yeah, he is. Clarkson is going to play.
Yeah, we surveyed 100 people.
He's awesome, man. He's like a field producer for us.
Yeah, totally. Speaking of that, let me mod him.
Yo, welcome to the mob. The wrench mob.
There we go.
Well deserved too, man.
Absolutely.
Give him a round of applause. So, fellas, it's time for us to wrap up and go enjoy the show. I mean, the game. Well, you can enjoy the show too if you want to rewatch it.
Yeah.
All right. Any last thoughts before we sign off?
Go Knicks, go! Like I said, I hope
go New York, go New York.
Buckle your seatbelts, people. The next 3 days are gonna be a wild ride.
Yeah, it's gonna be a roller coaster, man.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, SV Nation, for tuning in. Once again, I'm Keith, host of Sports Vibes TV. This is the Knicks Syndicate pregame show, joined as always by my co-host Stephen Fox and George from Into
wait.
First.
What's the over and under that Randle actually punches someone tonight?
I think it's highly likely. With
the
way
the
he's
Knicks
trending.
are on
First
Utah.
it was Fournier.
Hey, I'm not putting those.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. We appreciate all your